morning and welcome to Spirituality Gone Wild. I am Debbie G. It's been a minute, you guys. Happy New Year. This is my first show of the new year. Can you believe that? And it's already 1112. 112, 112. I love that. So while we're getting loaded in and sharing this out, I'm going to play a gorgeous song by you know who, True Osborne, and then we're going to get rocking and rolling into today with an incredible co-squirt. You guys are going to love him. His name is Brian Gregory. We'll be back.
You made the heavens, planted the earth, gave us stars for direction. But what was it worth if we don't have love? Oh, your perfect love. You filled the oceans, painted the sky, gave us each other. So tell me why, why we're lacking love. Oh, why we're lacking love. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? Yeah, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? My Lord, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, you can prophesy, speak in the tongues you made, but if you don't have compassion, how will they understand that we were made from love? Oh, we were made from love. Oh, yeah. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? My Lord, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? Oh, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Time to spread more love. Oh, perfect love, supernatural love. Your love.
And that was True Osborne. Thank you, True, for bringing forward that gorgeous song. Good morning. Oh my God, look at this. We've got Ellie, Kimmy, Robert. How's it going, guys? How's your new year been so far? What is going on with you? I love you guys so much. Y'all ready to spark the G vibe? That's your gratitude vibration. You know what time it is. It's time for a cup of Greta with a shot of expression and 2 squirts of reality. And I have an amazing co-squirt today. Oh, yes, I do. And his name is Brian Gregory. Brian Gregory is the CEO and founder of Admanity. You guys are going to absolutely love this. I'm going to bring him up without further ado. Welcome, Brian. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning, Debbie. It's a pleasure to be here on Cup of Grata and to join all the people whose spirituality has gone wild.
They have. I'm telling you what. Well, you know, it's true. It actually has gone wild, and it is open and allowing for all beliefs and perspectives to be in place. You know, I am so excited that you are here, and I had you all geared up and ready to. Oh, and we are here. Sometimes I can't find myself to find myself, Brian, but I just found myself. You ready? You guys, his key focus is showing small businesses how to use emotion and motion to drive sales and create winning ads. Brian Gregory is the founder and CEO of admanity.com and creator of breakthrough algorithm. It's called the Admanity Protocol. I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm going to let Brian talk about why he did this and what this is, but you're going to see Spirituality Gone Wild's report. How about that? Now, the people that are on right now have been following me for years. You guys, you're going to see this cool report that's going to give you the insight to what Spirituality Gone Wild really is. Now, I'm telling you what, it's actually pretty cool. So, Brian, what would possess you to decide that you need to learn what personalities that businesses have? Because that's in essence what this does.
It's a great way to think about it. We've all taken a personality assessment maybe at one time in our lives, and they're very revealing about the true inner nature of who you are and how other people perceive you. But there's never been such a thing for your business. And when we're spending money and sometimes wasting money on ads that don't work,
Yeah.
social media posts that don't convert, right, and all the things that we try to make ourselves, successful, it becomes obvious that we need something like this because we're speaking Chinese and everyone else is speaking Greek, and we got to learn how to talk on the same level, in the same wavelength. And that is always going to be, when it comes to marketing, an emotional wavelength. And that's why that's the rabbit hole I fell into to create this algorithm and everything that goes with it, so that a small business owner, even though they may not understand marketing, they may not be very good at it at all, and that's most of us, by the way, it doesn't matter. They could read a simple page, look at a formula, and do that. And they could make it work for them, even if they have no background in advertising at all.
And this is the truth, you guys. I'm going to show you this report. It's so rad. And y'all know I get excited about things that excite me. And this one, Brian, you excite me. I love this. It's like a total Spark by G vibe, man. I love it, which is your gratitude vibration. And what I'm loving is that not only did I get to meet Brian and I discovered so many things about Spirituality Gone Wild I didn't even recognize or understand or know myself. And it came through me, but also just it's amazing to me how that you've put this algorithm together. Like, it covered everything.
Yeah, I always tell people it'll do three things for you. One, it's going to confirm some things you weren't sure about, and it's going to help you to say, okay, I know now that is the right way to do it. It's going to also give you answers to things you had no idea about, as you just alluded to. And it's going to also tell you what, if you were on the fence about something, it's going to just, flop you one side or the other. So it gives you the direction for the first time. So think of it like this. If a big ad agency was to be merciful and come down to your level and do a professional brand analysis of your company, $10,000 worth of analysis, thousands of dollars, lots of people working, and hand it to you free and for a very low cost, this would be equivalent to something similar to that, something you'll never get in the real world. And ad agencies don't do that, but Admanity does. And we want to be sort of the online ad agency to millions of small businesses out there who need it.
I'm loving this. So listen, guys, a lot of you, even if you're a coach, you own a business. Robert Dosa, I see you. This right here, this link, everybody, I'll post it into the chat as well. But this link right here is going to give you a free version, a small version of this report. You got to go take it. It's totally rad. Oh my God. Okay, so I want to get into, you use the word primal emotion. Listen, that is just a sexy word. That's like a gone wild word. Primal. It's like our Untamed Club. It's a primal emotion. What's a primal emotion?
Great question. Primal relates, we all have them. You were born with these emotions. You have the exact same emotional makeup of Caesar, Aristotle, Shakespeare, Mozart. If that makes you feel good, it should. You have all of the human 1.0 emotions coursing through your body. And we're capable as human beings of experiencing hundreds of different emotions at any given moment. But what we found in Admanity is there's 15 emotions, and only 15, that sell stuff to the world. So your product, your service will be influenced by these 15 emotions, and we call them the primal emotions. They are the basic knuckle dragon caveman emotions that we all have inside us: happiness, desire, ego, envy, excitement, certain emotions. And if you understand advertising and you break down the successful ads, they come down to a formula using these primal emotions. And once you understand the 15 primals, well, you can create an ad for just about any product on the planet Earth. In fact, these 15 primals have created all the ads that have sold every single product on the planet Earth, and they'll continue to do so. And so it behooves us to learn a little bit more about what motivates a human being before we try to sell to one, don't you think?
Yeah, I totally do. Getting into the psychology of, because that's what this is doing, is gets into the psyche of the buying experience for somebody. And it's simple. For me, I always think about, what is it that I'm attracted to? What is it,
Mhm.
and why am I attracted to it? And we can use actually emotional intelligence within this structure. One of the things that I dig about what you're doing is that you really do tap into a more positive aspect of the emotions. Now,
Mhm.
is this true, Brian? Is it true though? I've heard this, and my research said this, and I don't know if it's true. They say 50% is more towards we'll call it neither good or bad, everybody, but a negative connotation, versus 50% being more to the positive. So you can see an ad that's a little bit more, it hits the pain body and you're attracted to it, or you can see an ad or you're repelled by it. Or 50% of the people, they see an ad for, with sunshine and unicorns and rainbow farts, and they're like, yeah, you know, but is it true that it's 50-50 like that?
It's funny. You're the first person to ever ask me that question, so I'm gonna enjoy answering this. When I had the 15 emotions, I sat down and I said, okay, I wonder how many of these are sort of going to be interpreted as positive, and how many are, like ego and envy might be considered by some people to be sort of a negative emotion. And it turned out that out of the 15 emotions, 7 were positive, 7 were negative, and 1 was common to both sides. And I didn't plan it that way, but it worked out because the algorithm has to have perfect balance in order to work. That's all the math I'm going to give you today. But it did work out that it has a perfect blend of positive, what we would call positive, like happiness, excitement, empathy, some of the more altruistic level emotions. But we're also motivated by ego, or by admiration for other people that have something we want, and we want to get that for ourselves. It's not necessarily a negative. It's not negative to want more for your family, to have a better life. In fact, it has inspired mankind to create almost everything. Otherwise, you just sit there, right? And so we do want more. It's a natural human urge. That's the ambition archetype, and you'll learn a little bit about that in your report. So they're negatives that create positive outcomes, and the positive outcomes obviously do the same. So in the end, advertising is about a happy outcome, always. It's never about a negative one. So rest assured, we're using all of the different bumper cars in the carnival to make sure that everybody gets to the decision, a positive one, to partake of your brand and your service. And it's human persuasion mapped out, so you don't have to go to school. You don't have to attend courses. You don't have to have 20 years in advertising like I do. You can
Thank
do
God.
this in 5 minutes. You can get your report and just have all the answers just given to you. It's more fun that way.
Oh my God, and I love the answer. Thank you. So it is, in fact, pretty well true. It's a 50-50. So I love that. So, and the reason and that's why split testing is so important too. When you're in the advertising game, that you're trying out both in your business, that I try both. Which one? Because some people are just, that's just what they're more attracted to. Not a right or wrong though, or a
Mhm.
negative or positive. Honestly, it's just polarity, yin yang. Our entire life is polarity. And what's cool about all of this, Brian, is that at Manatee, if you really sit back and think about it, it's really us. It's people. You're in the people game, and you guys listening, if you're saying, well, I don't have a business, this doesn't pertain to me. Oh, yes, it does. Oh, yes, it does. Because you see, in every day, in every interaction, we are communicating and connecting. So why not understand the psyche of why we connect with, even as we go out and purchase products? Why do we purchase what we do? It really, and I encourage you guys to think about how that you can even use this in your own daily lives. Go to Admanity and go to /Cupagrata and get a free report. You say, well, I don't really have a business. I only have a business idea. Okay, great. Business idea yourself. Go do it. Go do it. Let's do it. I love it. Angel, I do see you. I love you. I see you out there. Good morning. So we're going to bring up my report here in a second. So I am curious, Brian, if, and this is, I believe this is something that should happen. I think every business in America should run an Admanity report, because if they did, well, you guys, as soon as he tells, what do you think would happen if all of us were able to run a report like this and really see what the archetype and personality of this machine that we've built is?
Great question. And your show is, and your whole organization is structured around altruism as a major driving point. And
Yeah.
our company's the same. And for those out there listening who are more spiritual than advertising and marketing, yeah, I get it. Most people are, by the way, not too many people are just driven by marketing stuff. And it may seem a little foreign to you, but you have to learn a little accounting to run your business, and you should learn a little of this. And here's why. We hear this horrible statistic. How many times have you heard 80% of small businesses will fail, right? Just a slap in the face before you even get the business license paid for.
Completely. Oh yeah, I totally. Yeah, you're just like, oh my God, I shouldn't do this. I'm not doing it. I'm never gonna do it.
Yeah, what if they told you
Yeah.
4 out of 5 investments will make you penniless? Would you ever invest in anything, right?
No,
You'd say, I'm not going to do this. But
no, I would
small
not do
business
that.
people, these people, the people that are listening are, they're the kind of people that will work 80 hours a week for themselves just so they don't have to work 40 hours a week for somebody else, right?
Right on.
So
That's it.
imagine if they all had the answers, and that's what we call Admanity to our friends. We just say, look, it's a book of answers. This will save you about 5 years of making mistakes and thousands of dollars. This is an ad agency just saying, here's the answers. So basically, if everybody had that book on day one of their business, and instead of making all the wrong decisions, they made the right ones. Instead of the wrong colors and the wrong words and the wrong phrases, they used archetype attractive words that made people want to come to you. If the ads were created simply and cleanly with just simple emotional tugs and levers and pulleys that work on our subconscious minds, and if every business just kind of played along with that, I think we would change that 80% number. I probably shouldn't say how much, but it would be statistically extremely significant. And if you save one small business, you haven't just saved a business, you've saved all the people's lives who are hoping that business works out, and all the vendors who supply that business and hope that they pay their bills, and all the municipalities that hope they pay their taxes. There's a ripple effect when a business goes down. There's nothing good about it. I think we are here to create the next generation of businesses who start out and every one of them has an ad agency on their side. Boom. It's a different world 5 years from now if we do this.
I'm excited about this because I agree with you 1,000%. Many moons ago, I had an advertising publication and it was very successful. One of the things about this, though, is I dealt with mom and pops all over the place. You guys, I've seen businesses, this was 2008, I saw businesses crumble, but here's the difference between, even though the statistics are, they can say what they're going to say about them, the true entrepreneur, we are going to be different. We are going to do this differently. We are going to make it happen. And now in today's times, we have something called conscious business. And because we're doing business consciously, and companies like Admanity are available to us, we're in this in a different way, how to actually approach this from the human being level. And this is exciting to me. Let me tell you, I love this comment that just came in from Lisa. She says, I'm in the banking industry and I do direct sales. We believe every time we are speaking, we're practically selling ourselves. So indirectly, we're marketing ourselves. Oh yeah, always.
It's true. And here's the one of the interesting things I think about humanity. I mentioned how we sometimes communicate in different different languages. You got two levels of communication. Right now, I'm speaking to you with my conscious mind. You're listening to me consciously, and our conscious brains are processing things, sorting things, trying to remember things, and doing, that's our Sherlock Holmes brain, okay? It's the one we wish was in charge all the time, and we're so smart. But 95% of your brain activity is subconscious, meaning it is more emotionally driven than factually. It's not factually driven at all. In fact, you've never made a logical decision to purchase anything in your entire life. You've made an emotional decision to purchase, and then you've given a logical reason why I just did that. Because our logical mind likes to have equal time on the talk show. But it really was an emotional decision, and it was subconsciously generated,
Yeah.
hopefully by a good ad or a good message that made you say, hey, wait a minute, I like that, I want that, I need that now, I want more of that in my life. And so the problem business owners have is when they sit down and they write an ad because it's due tomorrow, and you've been in publishing, you tell the client, hey, it's due tomorrow, give me an ad. And of course they
Yep.
do everything they can. They talk to their friends, they talk to their mom, they talk to the graphic designer. Everybody has 2 cents in this ad, and it adds up to $5 worth of ad that can't work. It's just filled with facts, figures, dates, and data. It is no emotional connection. It is not going to reach the subconscious mind, which is how an agency unscrambles things. Agencies typically think emotionally. And but the average person doesn't know any better. And I saw this when I had my magazines, and I got ads given to me that just couldn't really work. And they end up as cancellations and unhappy customers because they want the ads to work, and we want the ads to work, but we don't have time to give everybody a seminar, right? And so we just wish they would give us better ads. And so your conscious mind tends to create an ad that won't work. And your subconscious mind is the mind we should be preaching to. And since you don't know how to do that, that's what the Ad Vanity report does. It just says, well, here it is. Here's the subconscious message you need to send. And here are the emotions that will trigger it. And you can do this so simply. Once you read it, it's a 1 page for each strategy. It's very simple. And you'll actually recognize them from ads that you've probably seen on TV. And you'll say, wait a minute, that's how they sold the whatever it was to me. And I can give some examples of how it works. But you'll see that it happens to us every single day. We just never bothered to write down the reasons for it.
Right. Like, okay, ladies, when when you go into that store and you see that pair of pants and you're like, I want those. In fact, the buying process for me, I've actually narrowed it down to I must have. I must have it. If I don't must have it, I don't want it anymore. So I'm that person in advertising that ad must reach that must have point because otherwise I'm not doing it. But I hope you all caught that. You've never bought anything logically ever. It's all been emotionally driven from the fact that we have this programming, this neurological programming that's subconsciously running in the back of that's what you're talking about is running. That subconscious programming that just and that programming I believe can be changed. But what you're talking about is reaching not just on the conscious level, but on the subconscious level, what it is actually that the person's wanting. The thing is that sometimes we don't know we want it till we know we want it. And your job is to show us what we want. And I love that because that's why I need Admanity I needed it to show me what it is that I wanted. And that's just as simple as that.
It is, and yet we don't think that way all the time. And you mentioned shopping. For those of you out there that are avid shoppers, has this ever happened to you? You were looking at some item in the store, and you notice over there somebody else is eyeing the same item. It's the last one, and you don't really want it that bad, but that other person, I know as soon as I put this down, they're going to take this. So it just quickly goes into your cart to keep it away from the other person in case you decide you really want this thing later. We all do that. It's a holdover from the caveman days where you didn't know where your next meal was coming from. So you saved up, and whatever you got, you acquired and kept.
Yeah.
It's a natural human reaction to want more. Even if you don't need it right now, you might later, safe than sorry, that kind of thing. And so that's fear of loss. And that's one of the archetypes within Admanity. We show you how to use fear of loss. It's not necessarily fearful. It's not that negative. It's
Mhm.
just, well, I don't want to lose this, so I might as well get it now. And so everything in Admanity is like nudges. I always say that emotions are like the tugboats in life's harbor of indecision. They pull us to one destination or to another. They help us get to where we need to go anyway. And if you learn how people will react, you have an advantage more powerful than all of humanity's innovations. I'm going to say that one more time. If you learn how people will react, you have an advantage more powerful than all of humanity's innovations because you understand the levers and the pulleys of your customer's mind, their subconscious mind. And you don't have to be a psychologist to know to use these 15 emotions. So I just wanted to make sure I said that.
I love this. Actually, thank you very much. And what I'm appreciating is our audience is tapping into, they're thinking about this right now. We're really prompting. And what I love is that you guys are thinking about mindfulness. You're mindfully thinking about how that you make your choices and how other people make choices. If you are a coach, you own a business, whatever the case may be, go run your free report right here, you guys. You see it? You see it? Go run your free report. All right. Who is ready to see spirituality gone wild behind the scenes? Here we go. Let's bring it up a little bit higher. There we go. This is, I don't know if they can actually see that though. This is community. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you guys, I'm going to do my best. So, what this says here, archetype of spirituality gone wild is community. The declaration is the guardian of comfort. I mean, I'm just over here. Do you know how good that makes me feel? The guardian of comfort. Spirituality gone wild, the guardian of comfort. Primal trigger is belonging. And our keywords are security, comfort, family, relation, alignment, like-minded, and nostalgia. Can we go over that a little bit and what that means?
Sure. The community archetype is one of the 15. And for those listening, Debbie took the test. Takes about 5 minutes. We ask you simple, true, false questions about your brand or your business, and you just say true or false. And the algorithm will figure out very quickly exactly what you are emotionally as a brand. Now, in her case, she turned out to be the community brand. Obviously, she is building a huge, huge community of like-minded souls who are very obviously very spiritual and altruistic, but they are drawn to like a lot of people are to this community as a group, and we all want to be part of something, right? Everybody wants to be part of something. It gives us comfort to be running with the herd, so to speak. If you want to trigger something from your caveman era, that's what it equates to. Those who didn't run with the herd got cut from the herd and they didn't make it. So it's very much a primal desire to be with the winning team. Your guardian of comfort is what the community brand does. It provides a shield, an umbrella, and says, you all can come under my umbrella and I will protect you from whatever this community is designed to do. I will, spiritually lead you to the goals here. And the primal trigger is belonging. So people are drawn to a sense of belonging to this. And those keywords are just helpful words to give you some ideas of who your audience might be and what they would like to see from, as an end result from you. And of course, your community is obviously doing that, considering the size of it. It's a hugely successful. And so the rest of this report will show you how to grow the community brand, the brand that needs people to join it, to be part of it, to motivate your flock, and to help all people reach the goals, and to show them what the goals are in a way that makes them want to join. So if you have something that people want to join, you're likely to come out the community brand, as you did.
I love it. Oh my God, that's so exciting. Okay, so let's go to another page. Let's see. How about should we go to formulas?
Yeah, go to formulas. That's good. And I can and go in about I don't know, 8 or 9 pages, and we'll just get to some of those formula pages. Oh, let's go back just one more. Go back where those archetypes were.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, what you're seeing here, folks, are the 15 archetypes of admanity, and I'm just going to list them off so that because I know it's hard to read. Affinity based on happiness, approval based on popularity, fascination is based on excitement, admiration based on envy, altruism based on empathy, authority, trust, community, as we just mentioned, belonging, temptation is desire, ambition, greed, attraction, transformation and improvement. Service is a life of ease and convenience. Persuasion is associating words and phrases to larger iconic things. Urgency is fear of loss or fear of missing out. And prestige is ego and pride. And innovation is new, curious things. And so any ad you see from Admanity that we show you how to create will combine a couple of these to create the desire to buy your brand. And so go ahead and flip forward and we'll show you a simple example of how we do this. There's a good example. Now, again, it's hard to see, but you see 3 paragraphs there. And what we're basically doing is we're combining basically 2 emotions to create the third. All of Admanity's formulas are 1 + 2 = 3. If you can add 1 + 2, you can do any formula within Admanity. Okay, so can you zoom out a little bit and I can see, okay, is that temptation at the top?
Let me take a look. It is at the top here. It starts with we start with fascination, admiration, and then community.
Okay, so what this is showing you is a formula to build community. We're going to show the excitement of what it's like to be a part of the community, the end result, the goal being achieved. We're going to show admirable people or admirable goals being part of this community. And if everyone's excited and admirable things are being done here, you need to join this community. And so it leads you to that logical next step. And you have to use the right emotional triggers or you go nowhere. So what we're showing you in this section, we give you 16 different ways to get to the same place, the purchase of the community brand. So 16 different boats, all going to the same dock, using different emotions to get there, different combinations of emotions. And these will pattern or model after big ads, successful ads in the marketplace that have already used this. And we like to give examples of 0 to hero brands that have created their businesses once they hit the formula. These are formulas. Advertising, we all think of it as creative, right? Oh, it's so creative. It's so creative. I'm not a creative person. At the root and core of it, it is formulaic. It's this emotion plus that emotion equals the third. And this is our simple way of explaining it. But once you understand the formulas, most humans respond similarly. And we all think we're like snowflakes, right? We're all individuals. We're all 1 in a million. We're like individual, wonderful snowflakes. Yes, but when you're selling, you sell to the snow, not to the snowflake. You sell to the core, to the commonality of humanity, and not to the individual, so to speak. And so all great formulas, all great ads will do that. And the biggest brands in the world use these formulas. They don't show them to you, of course. No one sits down and says, here's how we did it.
Right.
But when you analyze the brand or the ad campaigns that we see on our TV every night, you see a Geico ad. You want me to just break it down?
Yeah, break it down.
One. Okay.
Break it down.
What does a British lizard, a caveman, and a screaming pig have to do with car insurance? Nothing. Nothing. Why would Geico spend so much time showing you these silly commercials? Because Geico knows you really don't want to buy insurance. Nobody really wakes up and says, boy, I hope I get to buy some insurance today. It doesn't happen, but you may have to. So they would prefer to be the brand you like. So they use affinity as one of their triggers. It's a 1 + 2 = 3 thing. One of those would be affinity. And the other is the 15 minutes could save you 15% on your car insurance. That's ambition, greed. We'll save you some money. and we'll have some fun doing it. And a company that saves you money and makes you smile is a company that you can approve of, and they are the approval brand, the brand based on popularity. It's better for Geico to be popular than for them to be great at any aspect of insurance, because most insurance is very similar. So the brand differentiates itself from being a brand you like more than the others. And they went from obscurity, a brand you have never heard of. Geico stands for Government Employee Insurance Company. You've never heard of this. They're now the number 2 insurer in the entire United States because of these silly, fun commercials. And you're seeing the other insurance companies copying them: Progressive, Farmers, Allstate,
Yeah.
Liberty. They're all getting into the humor camp with this. And
Aflac.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Aflac.
They're all going there because
Yeah.
it's a formula that works. If it didn't work, you wouldn't see them doing it. But when you hit formula, your brand can go and skyrocket, and that's what changes brands. It's not that you've got more features and benefits or even a lower price. It has almost nothing to do with product quality. I'm not insulting anybody out there who's got a great product. It has to do 100% with the perception of a brand in the mind's eye of the consumer. What do they think at this moment about your brand? It's a perception, it's a gut feel. It has nothing to do, in many cases, with actual truth and fact. And I can prove that to you by saying this. In any town, is the best burger McDonald's? Is the best pizza Domino's? No. Is the best whiskey Jack Daniels in any city in America? No, there's always a premium whiskey. There's always a better burger. There's always a better pizza. Yet these are the biggest brands because their formula is working. They don't have to be the highest quality. The highest quality brand you've never heard of. It's a little pizzeria somewhere in your city that's barely struggling to stay alive. The brands that have the formulas are the brands that are winning. And we're going to show you, we're going to take you behind the curtain. You're going to get to see in your report, this is how it's done, folks. This is, and it doesn't have to be anything. It's nothing subversive. These are the basic emotions you're born with. We're just showing you how to use them to lift your brand. Because if you lift your brand and you do have a great product, are you not helping everybody at the end of the day anyway? You got to get it sold. You got to get it out there. You have to have a positive perception. You'll do that through emotions, and emotions are triggered by formulas.
I'm really digging this. I love this so much because McDonald's, there's another aspect to this, and why is McDonald's always ahead of the game? They're also spend more money on their ads and more money on their marketing and their campaigns than anyone else. All of these companies also invest in marketing first. One of the things that I'd like to discuss is the fact that people, when the hard times hit, oh my God, we're in COVID, everything's getting shut down. Oh, this is happening, that's happening, 2008 happening. The very first thing a business does is, oh my God, I got to stop spending. I got to stop doing this with marketing. Oh my God. And that is the biggest mistake. You're dead in the water. If you aren't looking at your marketing budget, your advertising budget as being the number one asset in your company, I think maybe there might be something wrong there. Advertising is our very first piece and marketing. Without this report, though, and everybody, I want you to go admanity.com/cupofgrata, get your free report, because without the report like this, I mean, it's a struggle. We've been around for almost 4 years, and I now understand things about spirituality gone wild I didn't before. I knew we were a community, but we're a family like we are a family. We are family. And like we can start singing that song, guys. And you know this because you're on here with me. Tell me that this isn't true. You all that have been following me for a long time just saw a little smidgen of spirituality gone wild behind the scenes. Now, knowing what we do and putting that together, isn't that just gorgeous and yummy? So, gratitude and gratefulness and appreciation. Do you see a lot of ads coming out more now with a little bit more of a connotation towards appreciating things or looking, or I've been seeing things like they're really putting an emphasis on how to view life differently, including products?
Well, there's no doubt a trend that has kind of arisen towards conscious capitalism. where we're here to make some money, but we're going to help a few people along the way, or we're going to donate more money, or we're going to make one and sell one and give one away. And those brands, some of them have just done amazingly well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of altruism in the world. And so, yes, there is a trend towards that. It's not something a lot of businesses understand. You do have to have some margin to be able to do some of these things. And your price has to be put in an appropriate spot so you can support that cause, because it is a cost. But if you learn how to market correctly, for all those who think everything is based on price, or they think I couldn't possibly raise my price, it's all I can get right now. Oh, yes, you can. Again, perception is everything. And what we show you is 9 times out of 10 to take the discount coupon and throw it away. We really don't want people thinking that the number one battle plan is to discount the price down to the floor and hope that they stay alive long enough to keep the customer. Number one, you're getting the worst customer possible, the customer that only responds to a discounted product and will probably walk away from you as soon as somebody gives them a further discount. Number two, you're cutting your own margins. You're hanging yourself with your own rope. So it's not necessarily a great angle in all cases to discount. What is a much better angle is to increase the value, to give them extra bonuses and perks and freebies and things like we're giving this free report, to show the customer that you give them more, not necessarily you're the cheap brand. And it's just so important to position. For example, right now, a lot of your listeners are thinking, well, this all sounds great, but this is COVID. And we're recording this just as the vaccines are coming out. And businesses have been decimated. There's black eyes all over the room.
Yeah.
And everybody's been knocked back. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
And your ad dollars may be zero right now. And if that's the case, let me show you what you can do with this. Emotions and words and strategies and things like this, they're all free. That's the great thing about it. I don't charge you by the word. So no matter how much you like Admanity, by the way, it's $397 to get everything that we have to give you. No matter how much you like Admanity, you can't spend very, very much. And in COVID times, look, you've got a website and we'll show you the words that should be on that website. I guarantee you right now, you're not using the right ones. We'll show you the emotionally attractive words and phrases and metaphors. We'll show you the colors of your brand. You've probably never seen them explained to you psychologically. You can start working that into your branding. You need social media posts that are free to post all you want, but make sure you post something that has emotional impact. We'll show you the words and phrases and the ways they're like little mini ads, these posts. If you structure them, they don't have to look like ads, but you could write 10 sentences in a post and it could be a brilliantly structured message using the emotions of your formulas. So a lot of these things we have at our disposal, we're just using them kind of on a low level. Let's turn the volume knob, shall we, from 2, and let's go to 10 for a while. I tell you, it's a lot more fun when you're at a 10 and everybody gets it when they see the difference. And we've done experiments where we've taken horribly bad ads and shown a business person what a great one would look at, and it blows their mind to see, oh, that's it. It's so simple. Why didn't I do that? That is so much better. And it resonates emotionally. We're emotional beings. Everyone's spiritual. It's just whether you want to realize it or not. And these emotions are perhaps one of the most spiritual things about us as we walk around the earth, interacting with other humans and their emotions. We have to realize it's the emotions that motivate people, not the facts, not the data. Rational thoughts will always be argued. Emotional thoughts are persuasive.
That's just true. This is true.
Until we build human 2.0, which hasn't hit yet, we're all still human 1.0. So you're like Caesar. You are like Aristotle. You have the same brain. And we remember their brands from thousands of years ago. Those brands are still hot. They were masters of their emotional world. And if you're not, you can get an Admanity report, and I think you're going to love what you see in there. It will make you the master of your brand's emotions, which is in business. I don't think there's anything more valuable to know, to be honest.
I think I'm floored. And one of the things I'm super excited about is superpowers. And one of the things that Admanity does is helps you to tap in to your business's superpower. And here's the deal. I know that Spirituality Gone Wild has there's a big interwoven Debbie G in there. Like, it has a lot of me in there, and you are your brand, right? In essence.
In
It
essence,
in
yes.
essence. So the superpower, the community brand superpower, that's our superpowers. But it's also the guardian of comfort. So let's just kind of dive into what that superpower is and how that you help people define their company's superpower.
Okay. Well, the first thing you realize is out of these 15 emotions, your brand uh, relies on a few of them really, really heavily. They're the most powerful components. So, for example, you're the community brand. You want everybody to join Spirituality Gone Wild, but you can't just say, "Join us, join us. We're the greatest thing on earth," because that's not much of an argument. Anybody could say that. You have to make the brand felt to the customer. They have to feel like they want to join. It's an emotional attraction, not a statement of a slogan, right? It's not a slogan in advertising. It has to be felt. And so we'll show you, for example, in your particular archetype, how these four emotions really drive the game. Admiration, fascination, service, and attraction. And while that may not mean much to the people listening, because it just sounds like I just rattled off four interesting words, each one of those is an archetype that has its own formulations, has its own strong and weak emotions within it. And that's what the algorithm does is it's figured out through the test and through the various things that it took 7 years to create this, folks. We didn't do it in a weekend. It figures out which emotions align up. Think of it like a molecule, certain elements. If you have a glass of water, you have H2O, right? If you add one more element of oxygen, you get H2O2. That's hydrogen peroxide. One small change ruins the glass of water. The emotions are the same way. If you use the right ones, you get the glass of water. You use the wrong combinations, you got hydrogen peroxide. Don't drink it. So it shows you what lines up, what goes together, like peas and carrots, as Forrest Gump would say. It makes the things that fit together work together so that you get a cohesive message every single time. And then you just repeat. You repeat, you repeat, you repeat. When big companies get a winning formula, they turn the volume knob up on the advertising. They don't let you forget it. McDonald's, you mentioned, their most successful campaign ran for over 40 years. It was called You Deserve a Break Today.
Oh, hello.
Remember that?
Right. Oh God, yeah. That was, but they are the leaderboard in it because they do. But this is amazing. I love this. You are, you've said something though I really want to go back to just for a minute, and that's value. Value. So everything that we've been building, our pipelines, our everything that you guys are going to see in marketing coming from Spirituality Gone Wild is all about service and value. What can we give them? What can we give them? Okay, that's like I'm so excited about this. We have a book of secrets coming out. We have all kinds of great things happening that are gorgeous, yummy, juicy pieces of content to help people in their life. And that's awesome. And I love this. But the value and the service is part of conscious community is so important. It's that value proposition to me is more important. And I dig that way more. Discounting things is cool, but I'm not looking for that either. Just like you said, I am looking for specifically what value and service can I be to the world. And that's what Spirituality Gone Wild does. I want to give a huge shout out because Kathy Mason is on right now. She's Conscious Business Connection, and you will be meeting her. Kathy, this is a wonderful Brian Gregory. Everybody say hi to Brian. I am so excited because we understand that we now can tap in to our superpowers in our companies. Go right here. You can run a free ad, not a free ad, a free report. Then you can see about your ad after you talk to Brian and get the full report. Um, I is let's look at this report again. So the guardian of comfort, Kathy, the guardian of comfort. I mean, that's just like the guardian of comfort. I'm like, okay, where do I sign up? I mean, that's beautiful stuff right there.
They all have great, all the archetypes, as we mentioned, are the end result is goodness and happiness and contentment. And that's the goal of any ad campaign. Yes, we want to sell products, and yes, we need to survive as brands. But at the end of the day, if you don't deliver if you deliver something other than happiness, and at the end, you're probably not going to last too long. And so, but there's so many different forms of it that we can categorize these things now by looking at thousands of ads and thousands of traits that companies have. The algorithms, all an algorithm does is it takes many solutions and narrows it down to one or a few. It simplifies things for us. It finds the needle in the haystack. And as business owners, you're never shown the needle in your haystack. You get a business license, you sink a bunch of money into something, you buy some ads, you ask the people around you for help. They do their best, but they're not experts either, right? They're not ad
Yeah.
creationists, and you wing it. And that's what entrepreneurs are not afraid to do.
Boom.
Uh,
I'm
but
gonna tell you, Brian. Yeah, but, yeah, but there's a big yeah, but in there. The yeah, but is I did all those things. There's a formula. And I discovered recently, I met this guy, his name is Brian Gregory, and he has this thing called Admanity, and he has this formula that I went, "Oh my gosh, are you serious?" I mean, seriously, Brian, what you just described was my life, and I come from this realm, and I still, as an entrepreneur, I don't see the needle in my own haystack. I
you
want
also
yeah, everybody catch that? You don't see it.
No, you don't. And why would you? You're not trained in this stuff. And I know your background, you have a very strong skill in graphic design. And folks, don't do this to your graphic designer. We all do it anyway. But here, the graphic designer gets this sheet of paper filled with gibberish. And your command to them is make it pop, make it exciting, make it a cool ad, please. And the graphic designer looks at this mess and says, oh, I should be paid $100,000 a year to make something cool out of this kind of thing, right? And it's unfair to them to ask them to become your ad agency in 15 minutes. You need to understand the principles. You need to understand the emotions so that you can direct your designers and your vendors to do it the right way for you. They want to do it right for you. Empower them by giving them this information. Heck, you can let them read your Admanity report. We give you an online portal to view it, so anybody that you want can get in there. So your whole team can view this report and understand why you're so excited about it, because then they catch the fire, right? And you can align your entire company. What if you had an Admanity report and let's say you had 10 people that are your key people, and you want them to make sure that, we want on the same page here. We want to be the same fire here, not 10 types of fire. We want one type of fire. Well, let them understand what your brand truly is, the emotions that truly trigger it, and they will start to use it in their microcosm of your brand. If they're the marketing guy, or they're the copywriting person, or they're the web guy, they're the social media gal, whatever it is, they want to do that job better for you. So share, get your report and help the people. They're just going to make you more money, right? Simple.
Why not do it? I'm loving this because I can promise you this is the coolest thing I have had happen between you and Kathy Mason, the two of you. I mean, seriously, Spirituality Gone Wild has taken on a whole new. The Emperor has new clothes. I can tell you that the Emperor has new clothes, and they're stunning and fabulous. And I want to talk really before we have to close. I want to talk about attraction, because one of the things I was looking at is, oh no, admiration, not attraction, admiration. This is another component in Spirituality Gone Wild. It's another component of advertising, but this is the one that sparks my G vibe, because this one's all about, it's about attraction too. I mean, this is a sexy ad. It caught my attention. I looked at it, and all I can get is, we're supposed to talk about this. Let's unpack this one a little bit.
Okay, great. This is part of your report, and it's, as I mentioned, certain emotions are stronger than others. In your case, admiration figures very strongly to bring people into community. Now, how does that possibly work? Admiration to some people rings of elitist or snobby. And the envy is the primal trigger of admiration. That doesn't sound so positive. Envy is, but it basically what you're looking at here is your community brand will want to show people how they can be on a higher pedestal after interacting with it. You have many good things that will do that for them. It's called the sculptor of idols, as you can see on your screen. Admiration is about lifting up. It's aspiration. And it's showing people that, yes, you could be more like these people. You could have some more admirable qualities. You could do more admirable things. You could have more admiration in your brand. And the interesting thing about admiration, as you'll read, is that admiration is professed to be for the few who want it, but it means nothing until you have the adoration of the many. Because the people that want to be uplifted, they want to be sort of above the fold. And so you need the adoration of the many. And the best example would be something like, I may not be able to afford a Lamborghini today. But I could buy the t-shirt, I could support the brand, I can get in there a little bit, and maybe one day I'll be able to afford to be on that top tier. But for now, I just want to admire the brand that brings it to me. There's good things there. And these are all positive statements. So admiration is the sculptor of idols because it shows you the next level of this video game. And that's where you want to go. You always want to be stepping up, right? And so it shows you that.
Beautiful. I freaking love it. You guys, this has been an amazing hour. And I want to thank you, Brian, for coming in and just unpacking the report a little bit with us about Spirituality Gone Wild. And I want to mention, you guys, I don't know if I mentioned this yet. You can go right here to amanity.com/cupagrata, run a sample report, see what it looks like. And I will promise you, the sample report gives you a lot of information. It's going to make you want the big report. That's for darn sure. And just please go and try it out. If you have a thought that you need to have a business, see, this is a gratitude moment. Everything was once in someone's imagination. The house I'm sitting in, the computer that I'm working on, the everything was once imagined. Everything that we use today. So if you have an idea, don't let this stop you. I think that's a great idea, but I don't know how to make that happen. I can promise you that when I saw the vision for Spirituality Gone Wild, I was like, and how do you really, how am I supposed to make that happen? Hello. And even to today, I don't think about how I'm going to make that happen, but rather release and let go. And with appreciation, people like you, Brian, show up in my life. People like Kathy Mason show up in my life, and my entire team show up in my life to help make these things happen. So go with your dreams, go for your dreams, and go to admanity.com/cupagrata so that you're able to see what that looks like. There's something about the visual aspect of seeing your dreams like in front of you that gives a reality basis to it. Don't you think, Brian?
Yeah, you have to visualize, and it's again, this is emotional stirring of the pot.
Yeah.
You really you can't do anything without an emotion. I mean, we always talk about emotions or the stimulus to buying things, but really 95% of your brain activity is subconscious, working on feelings and subroutines. And so really your most everything you do is driven by emotionality. You took a certain route to work this morning because it was quicker. You didn't want to get fired when you showed up to work. Everything is emotionally driven. And I want to mention one other thing. For those who are a little bit, maybe feel timid, download the free report so you get a chance to just learn a little more. You'll read more on the website that it's sitting on. You can learn more about us and go to our website. When you're ready, buy your brand attraction report. It's $397, and it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you'll be able to go into your portal, read your report, read your brand briefs, listen to podcasts. We have podcasts and blogs and all kinds of stuff on the website for you.
Mm-hmm.
And for 30 days, just let it sink in. And if you decide it's not for you, then you get 100% of your money back. So there really is no risk to do this. It's probably less money than you're going to spend on office supplies and cleaning supplies next month, but this will make your brand go forward and conquer. And that's what we want in these times. So I just wanted to say that.
I appreciate that you just said that, and I love that. We are at the top of the hour, guys. This has been one of the funnest interviews, Brian, because I love all of this, and it's just an exciting time to know that we get to go forward in business, understanding more how to reach our audience, as it also helps unpack and helps us understand more about ourselves. So thank you, audience. Today you've been amazing. I love you guys. Of course, I need to plug Spirituality Gone Wild. Go to spiritualitygonewild.com. Join the Untamed Club. We'll talk more about that later. You're very welcome, Hope. You're very welcome. Okay, you guys, I love you. Right now, this very second, Scott Stanfield has just started his Modern Longevitarian. So go back to the page, see that live, and catch us back here again. You'll see me again later on this week, y'all. I love you. We're going to say bye now. Say bye now. We love you guys. Go to Admin